conferencing.
Yeah, I have I'm what, you know, what's up?
What's up?
Yeah. And not Skype.
How do can I have the number to contact you?
I don't remember it. Trivikram's got my number.
We have the number in the WhatsApp group.
Huh?
What's that?
Is he got bring this Linda? He got create one group inside there got Guru Maharaj's number.
It's okay, so I'll find out from her. Thank you.
Yeah, Guru Maharaj, we all miss you.
Oh yeah, I'm missing all you.
Come now, this time Kuala Lumpur.
You're all locked down, is it? In Kuala Lumpur, everybody locked down?
We didn't go anywhere. We cannot go like district travel, not allowed.
Oh.
You need to apply approval from the police.
But you can go to temple, is it? Temple closed though, huh?
Temple closed. Now last week only they open.
Oh, open.
Must follow.
Open last week.
Must follow SOP one by one. You do darshan already, then you must quickly have to go off.
Oh.
Cannot stay in the temple.
Cannot stay in the temple, huh?
But we follow Guru Maharaj class. I follow your class from Jivena class, Myanmar Krishnapur class, Thailand class.
You follow the Bhakti Shastri class?
Yes, I follow all the Bhakti Shastri class already. The recording class already finished. Now I follow your Krishnapur, the Myanmar class.
Yeah.
Krishna is the Bhagavad Gita class and Thailand class.
Thailand class.
So only Kuala Lumpur you don't give class in Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah, they didn't ask me to give class. I gave before. I gave the Bhakti Shastri, right?
Yes, only that
They never asked me after that. Some otherwise I give YY. You get the YY class?
The China YY, yes.
Yeah. Tuesday morning and Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Yeah, Saturday night.
I follow this Kasturi Mataji. He will send all details. Then I will join the Facebook class.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I try to put everything. I try to record everything on Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook and Zoom.
And Zoom, right?
So I think this CMCO we attend more classes than before.
Huh?
Yeah, it's because I'm chasing Guru Maharaj class. I'm really chasing I'm not able to finish all the class sometimes. Because too many classes, too many places.
Too many
have
classes.
To chase.
Yeah, a lot of classes.
Class.
Yeah, I know. I'm giving more. I never give so many classes before. It's a lot.
Well, actually, MCO in other way, listen more classes.
Yeah, I feel like I'm giving more classes than ever. I never give so many classes.
Already five places, five. But if you really every day, like whole week, week also for classes.
Yeah.
So I had to listen to. Cannot listen to the live sometimes. Not able to. So I have to listen to the recording class.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So waiting for TK Prabhu.
Oh, we got Singapore devotees also here tonight?
Yeah, I think we have 14 or 12 devotees.
Okay.
Is Rajanandana Prabhu giving class, I think about 3 months already. Every Friday.
Every Friday?
Every Friday. Every Friday and every Wednesday.
Wednesday also, Twice a week?
Twice a week.
Nice.
So the Wednesday one, China devotee also, right? Yamuna is translate. Yamuna Mataji translate the class.
Which Yamuna?
Yamuna, which Yamuna? Raja Babu.
Who's that?
Yamuna from China.
Oh, from China.
From China. Yamuna.
From Foshan.
Yamuna
Foshan.
Shanghai.
Huh?
Shanghai
Yamuna Priya.
Yamuna Priya.
From Shanghai.
From Shanghai. Oh, I don't know her.
I think you know her.
Yamuna Priya. No. Oh, yeah, she's disciple of Giri Hariswami, is it?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I don't know her. I heard the name.
Okay, TK Prabhu is come in already.
Maharaj.
Haribol
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So they introduced to you already. Maharaj, good evening. Introduce one by one. Molly, Mai, Cindy.
Maybe you can introduce the Trikam.
Okay. Maharaj, can I introduce one by one to you? Just take a few minutes.
Yes, you can. Yeah.
Can I?
Yes, please.
Maharaj. So the second is Rajanananda.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, my obeisances, all glories.
Open your camera, everyone. Open your camera. I want to see your beautiful face. Alex, open all the camera. Okay, Alex, open.
Yeah, open already.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Jai.
Alex, open from Colombo. Remember, Maharaj, open.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Who is it?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Alex Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Now, Molly. Molly is from Penang. You have seen her before.
Really?
Molly, hi. Open. Yeah. She's a new devotee.
How to open?
Just
You
press
just touch
the video.
Touch the camera.
Press on the camera.
Touch the video. Just touch the camera. The video there 嗰度有一個紅啊。你 mark 咗啊。You just touch. And never mind, you slowly open Maharaj, Ronnie V from Kuala Lumpur, KL, our KL temple, you know.
Oh, yeah?
Devotee. Yeah. New devotee.
Hare
I
Krishna
saw that.
Maharaj.
Hare Krishna
Maharaj.
Prabhu.
Cài camera.
Alex. Now,
Có vô mà.
you have seen her before. Then
Mấy cảnh.
just start SP Lima. Open your camera.
Vô được.
And Maharaj, they are all very new, you know. So this one Molly open camera said good. Good evening to
Hi.
Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
This one, new
Maui.
one, Maharaj. Penang one. Just
Yeah,
newly
I'm
joined
confident.
about 1 year.
Oh.
SP Lim, คุยเลย camera, touch. Maharaj ให้กี่เรือ
Can see me?
can see ฮะ
Can I?
Huh?
You open นะ touch นะ touch if you open มา Can see Maharaj. Very good evening to Maharaj. Just start the camera มาอย่า video ให้เป็นก็ touch อย่าจะใส่มาอย่า color กับ camera. And Maharaj, the other one is Madam E, you know. You.
Hare Krishna.
You remember her?
Yeah, I remember.
Open already.
I remember
Open
the
already.
name.
You talk to Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
This one is the take shelter from you one. This one from Penang. Then the Cindy Ong, Singapore.
How? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj, please accept my obeisances.
Hare Krishna, please accept my obeisances. Nice of you to
And the Diana Lau. Diana Lau is from Colombo, so new devotee. Diana Lau. Diana Lau, open the camera. Diana Lau, open the camera. And this, the one Mary Lee.
Mary Lee.
Mary Lee is from Penang.
Hare Krishna.
She want to take shelter from you.
Okay. Yes.
And the she is from Singapore, I think.
Oh.
So you please introduce yourself.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisance.
Hare Krishna, please accept my
Hare Krishna.
obeisances.
Then the SP Lim, I think, yes, before Penang one.
SP
Go
Lim.
to his house for Antra.
Yeah. Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yes,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Mary Lee. Mary, please talk to Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances.
Hare Krishna Mary.
This one with 2 kids one.
Yeah, I
She
know.
takes shelter from you. She want to take shelter.
Very nice children. So nice children.
Yeah. Yeah. The one is Yaduna Nandana from KL. The one is Yaduna Nandana. Hoi got camera. Hoi got camera. This one your disciple.
Who,
This one your disciple.
who's that? Who's my?
Yadu Nandana.
Oh, Yadu Nandan.
Ayong.
Yadu. Ah.
Yeah. And another one is Raja Lila from Singapore.
Rajalila with Karuna.
And Karuna.
They're both there?
And Yasoda Mai,
Yashoda.
our big cook.
Hare Krishna, Yashoda. Yashoda Mai, Hare Krishna.
So these are very new. Another one is Tun Bang Swan. This one is from Penang. This one is from
Todu, yeah. Butterworth. Yeah.
Like. She is from Todu.
What's the name?
Maharaj.
What's the name from Todu?
So all is here.
Oh.
Is Brajanandana Bagini.
Pagini.
She is from Jayapataka, Maharaj.
Yeah. I know Pagini.
I think you seen her. And the last one, Apachai Hoi Camera. Apachai is from JB, you know.
Hare Krishna.
JB 阿發仔開嗰個 camera 俾 Maharaj， 掂嗰個 camera 你識唔識？I think because Maharaj, these all the new people, so during a Zoom, so they are learning how to listen because of the pandemic. So I create this, and Brajananda create this just to have association. And Brajananda already finished a Mahabharat, I think about 4 or 5 weeks. Because the Chinese, they must understand what is a Mahabharat war, Then only they read Bhagavad Gita, they have a better understanding. So total, I think more than 20 lah. Some not yet come because.
Okay, very good.
So Alex is there. Modi, the new one. SP Lim.
What about that? What about
Madam Yi Tekata?
that Maraji from KL, Linda? Linda Ang.
Linda, I don't know whether. Dinah Lau, you open your camera. I think she's not there, Dinah Lau. Camera is not open. She's also a new devotee,
Yeah.
So this group consists of from KL, about 7 or 8 of us, 10. Then JB, Kosika, Xiong, the Xiong from Giridhari. Giri Gopal there, but today he will come late a bit. Then the Xiong, also from there.
Is Koshika here? Is Koshika here? I didn't see Koshika.
No, he not just close his shop, a bit late.
Oh, he'll come late.
He come a bit late.
Okay.
And this one, Dr. Koo. This is a doctor from Penang, Dr. Koo. Say Hare Krishna to Dr. Koo, open your camera. Talk to Maharaj for a while.
Dr. Koo.
Hoi Koo. She's a doctor.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
I think you've seen her before, Maharaj.
Really? I've seen her before? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's a doctor, the GH Penang, General Hospital of Penang.
General
She's
Hospital.
a doctor.
Okay. Very nice.
She's in the BCC group, It's Todu. She used to come for association. Very, very delicate to the temple. Samahu,
Okay, very nice. Very, very happy to see everyone.
Yeah. Maharaj can say, start what you want to say, start. Then when the people come in, then I introduce again.
Okay. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desitarine Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare So very happy to have this opportunity to speak to all of you this evening. Krishna consciousness is a universal message. It's meant for people everywhere, all over the planet, not only this planet, even all over the material and the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, everybody is a devotee. In the spiritual world, the people there, every day, they're only talking about Krishna, and they're all serving Krishna. We're here in the material world, right? They're the two worlds, the material world and the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, everyone has a body which is eternal, full of bliss and knowledge. But in the material world, in this world, we have bodies which are full of ignorance, which are miserable, and which are suffering. Right? We're all suffering, just like just now we're suffering because of this pandemic, this COVID-19 problem. We have a lot of restrictions, so many things we cannot do, and so many things we have to do, right? We cannot run around the way we used to, and we have to wear a mask everywhere. So, for devotee, it's not a big problem, because we're used to rules and regulations, right? Just like in yoga. Yoga, the beginning of yoga are rules and regulations. If you practice Ashtanga yoga, right? Do we have any yoga teachers here today? Anybody a yoga teacher? No. Unusual. We have many.
Yes, it's Hui
The yoga teacher at the Singapore Hui.
Hui is a yoga teacher. Right, Hui teaches yoga, right? So Hui knows that in Ashtanga yoga begins with yama and niyama. Yama are the things you shouldn't do, and niyama are the things you have to do. And so we get this, everybody, I was saying, you have to do, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't go big groups of people, and you can't run around, go out of this, you have to stay in the one place. All right, so in our Krishna consciousness, we also have that. We say you cannot take meat, fish and egg. We shouldn't take the dirty food, the animal food, the animal flesh or the fish, because first of all, it's not merciful. We want to keep the quality of mercy. We are very kind. Devotees, we have virtue. It's good to be it's good to have virtue. Virtue means good qualities, right? We should have good qualities. I was reading yesterday one book by a devotee. The devotee, he's my godbrother. His name is Krishna Kshetra Swami. So he wrote a book about cows, about protecting cows. And he was telling the story, he told the story about Maharaj Yudhisthira. Do you all know who is Maharaj Yudhisthira? Mary, do you know? Do you remember who is Maharaj Yudhisthira?
Yes, he's a brother of Arjuna and the siblings.
Yes, right. And he's the number one. He's Lauda. Right?
Yes.
He's Lauda. So he's the big brother. So he was going to heaven, you know, they had finished everything and they were leaving the world. And the Mahabharata describes how Maharaj Yudhisthira is going into heaven. But he has this dog following him. There's this dog following him. It followed him all the way. So they got to the door of heaven, and Indra is the king of heaven. So Indra said, we don't want this dog coming in here. This is heaven. We don't let dogs come in here. No dogs. Because, you know, dogs, you know, sometimes they're dirty, you know, and it's hard to keep them clean. But Maharaj Yudhisthira said, no, he said, this dog is with me. If the dog cannot come in, I am not coming in. Maharaj Yudhisthira was like that. He was so kind, you know, he was so concerned for even the dog. He said, if the dog cannot come in, then I'm not coming in either. And so Maharaj Yudhisthira actually, he refused to go in, but then it turned out that this dog was not an ordinary dog, but he was actually a heavenly being who had taken the form of a dog, just to test the quality of Maharaj Yudhisthira, just to show what good qualities Maharaj Yudhisthira has. So this is the idea that when we become devotees, we change. That maybe before becoming a devotee, we were not very good. We had a lot of faults and a lot of bad habits. But after we become a devotee, gradually we change. So Maharaj Yudhisthira, he was tested like that. It was the arrangement to show his good qualities so that he could show the effect. So I think we all experience a bit like this, that when we become devotees, you know, gradually we also change. I know one devotee, we have one devotee in China, and the husband and wife, they both became devotees. So the wife told me, she said, you know, she said, since my husband's become a devotee, he's changed. He said, before, he used to be very angry and, you know, it was so difficult to deal with him. He was always complaining and proud. And he said, but now he's become a devotee, he's become humble. He's become much more gentle and tolerant. You know, changed. The qualities change because we're in contact with Krishna. How does it happen? Because we're in touch with Krishna, because we're connecting to Krishna by chanting and by worshipping Krishna, by hearing about Krishna, and by eating Krishna prasadam. So all of these things, they have an effect. Just like Prabhupada gives the example, if you have a metal bar and you put it in the fire, then the metal bar, gradually it becomes hot, like the fire. It takes on all the qualities of the fire. Heat and light, and it can burn also. Although it's a metal rod, because it's in contact with the fire, it becomes like a fire. The same way, when we connect to Krishna by yoga, right? Yoga means to link. Yoga means 连接, 在一起, 我们跟 Krishna 在一起. So we take on all the good qualities, we develop the qualities of Krishna. That's the effect. Just like these computers, they're connected to the electricity. You need the electricity. This afternoon, today I was giving class, but all of a sudden, everything just stopped. What happened? The Wi-Fi went off. And when the Wi-Fi went off, then I had no connection anymore to Zoom, and I couldn't speak, I couldn't do anything. So no power. So yoga is like that. When we're connected to Krishna, then it has a very nice effect, a good effect. In the scriptures, it says, Krishna is like the sun, and the Maya is like the darkness, right? Krishna 好像太阳一样 Maya 是黑暗的地方 If there's Krishna, if there's sunlight, there can be no darkness. 如果阳光没有黑暗的地方 If there's sunlight, there's no darkness, and if there's Krishna, there's no Maya. So when we stay connected to Krishna, then we can stay away from the Maya. The Maya is the illusion. Maya is we're thinking something to be real, which is not real. That's what Maya is. Just like sometimes we think the body is real, but the body is not real. The body is only the dress. It's only like the vehicle for the soul. The body cannot run without the soul. The soul is real. The soul has life. The body, actually, the body doesn't have life, but it appears to have life because of the soul, when the soul is in the body. So, we are cultivating our Krishna consciousness. Cultivating Krishna consciousness. It's a process. Now, some of you, like I'm living in the temple. So you could say it's different for me. You're not living in the temple. You live in your homes and you have your families, and maybe some of you have jobs also. Some of you do some job or like that. Koshika has his shop, and Hui Hui has to go and teach yoga. And Mary also teaches English. People, and Mr. Lim, he's doing his business, whatever he has to do. Everybody keeping busy, doing different things. And somebody like me, I'm just in the temples all day. Well, of course, with the lockdown, I just stay around here. I don't go anywhere. Of course, usually I would, but this year I've been here in Mayapur all the time. Now, didn't hardly go anywhere at all because not very safe. Even it's difficult to go to temple because there's many people in the temple. So that some people come to the temple and you don't know if they have the COVID or not, because some people are walking around and they have the COVID. You don't know who has it. So everybody wearing a mask and everybody trying to keep a distance away. But many people coming to temple in Mayapur every morning. I went there, I did go for one festival. I went Govardhan Puja. They asked me to come and give the class. So I went and gave the class. And then I went just last week, we had the Rasa Purnima. Rasa Purnima is the day when there's a full moon, and in that night of the full moon, Krishna dances Rasa Lila. So we had a special festival. It's a big it's the last day of Kartik. And it's the last day of the 4 months of austerity. 我们4个月的苦行，最后一天，那天晚上是 Rasa Purnima, full moon. So we had a big program in the temple, and they asked me come and give the class. So I went there. I saw many people there. So a little dangerous, you know. For young people, not very dangerous, but for old people like me, it's a little bit dangerous. So Jayapataka Swami, he told us, he said, all the senior devotees, he said, you have to be very careful. You know, Jayapataka Maharaj, he never comes, he just gives a class on Zoom every day. But he told he said he wants all the senior devotees to be very careful. Don't get too close to all the people, because still a lot of COVID going around, many new cases. I was talking to a devotee in Dubai. He told me in Dubai every day 1,200 cases. And in Mumbai, India, every day 30,000. San Juan ran your COVID, 每天. So, let you know, it's very, see, in New Delhi, many people dying also. So, it's very serious. We have to be careful. So, at the same time, we have to keep busy in Krishna consciousness. Right? Mahatmanas, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Mahatmanas tumam partha daivim prakritim ashrita. The Mahatmas. You know the meaning Mahatma, Cindy? Cindy Maraji?
Mahatma means saintly person?
Yes. Yes. Mahatma is a saintly person. Mahatma, Maha means Maha, like Maha mantra. Means what? Maha means great. Right? And Mahatma, great souls. So Mahatmas are great souls. So just like you said, saintly person, yeah? Great souls. So who are all Mahatmas? Devotees. You are a Mahatma. Because you are a devotee. You chant Hare Krishna. So we don't think, of course we don't think we're saintly persons, but actually, according to the scriptures, if you chant Hare Krishna, you're a Mahatma. You're a great soul. You're a saintly person. And Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Mahatmanas tumam partha daivim prakriti mashrita. The Mahatmas, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine energy. Daivi prakriti. Daivi means spiritual nature. They're protected. Krishna protects the devotees. Yes. Krishna protects the devotees. So then, of course, people will say, well, how is it some people die when they get the COVID? We have to understand, when devotee suffers, it's not karma. Devotees don't suffer karma, because devotees have surrendered to Krishna. So they don't have karma. Krishna takes away all the karma. But still, Krishna has planned. Krishna has a plan for different devotees. So sometimes he will take a devotee away from one place to another place. Actually, nobody dies. Devotee, we don't die. What happens? We change the body. We just change the body. The soul never dies. The soul is eternal. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, for the soul there's no birth and there's no death. So what happens? Death is simply the change of the body. We give up one dress, we put on a new dress. Not a problem. For a devotee, it's not a problem, because devotees serving Krishna here, and they'll go on and serve Krishna in some other place. So, no problem. No problem to lament. Just like if you get a new car, are you going to feel bad? Oh, my old car, I like the old car. But you've got a new car. Why? You feel okay, right? You have a new car, or you have a new house. You get a new house, and you give up the old house to get the new house. Do you feel bad? No, you feel good. Have a new car, have a new house. So, the body also. We give up the old body, we get a new body. We get a new body to serve Krishna. So, devotee doesn't suffer. People who are thinking they're the body, they suffer. We're thinking I'm the body, I'm attached. But devotee doesn't suffer, because devotee knows. No problem. Serve Krishna here, go to another place, serve Krishna also. The same. Devotee sees everywhere the same. It does not matter, heaven, hell, or liberation. Heaven, oh, 我想天堂进去天堂，天堂可以享受 right? We give blessings to people. 我们祝福你寿比南山 right? You want to live a long life. You can live a long life. Go to heaven. 上天进去天堂可以 You can live a long time in heaven. In 天堂 you can live millions of years. You go there and a lot of enjoyment, a lot of pleasure, a lot of opulence. You know, Singapore, nothing. Singapore, very low class compared to heaven. You know, if we go to heaven and see how the demigods live in heaven, how they live there, very nice, very opulent, make Singapore look very low class compared to heaven. But you go to heaven, even there, sometimes there's problems. Sometimes the demigods also get problems. Sometimes Indra, you know, he's the king of heaven. So he's the king of heaven. Sometimes he gets, you know, he does wrong things sometimes. Sometimes even he's very attached also. He's very attached to being the king of heaven. He doesn't want to give up his position. Actually, it's a position. Just like somebody is a president, it's a position. They cannot hold it forever. They have to give it up. They will die one day. So Indra is the king of heaven. He wants to hold that position forever. This is, I'm Indra, I'm the king, I'm in charge. He wants to, and when somebody else comes, sometimes the demons come and they will give trouble. Sometimes Indra will have to fight them, have to fight the demons and kill them. Sometimes he'll kill even the brahmanas, because sometimes the brahmanas are also from the demons. So even in the heaven, you get problems and politics and different things come up. Just like devotees, sometimes we get trouble, we get politics, arguing. Oh, this is no good. I don't think we should do that. Oh no, I don't like that. You know, we can disagree. It's the nature, material world. But in the spiritual world, there's perfect harmony. Everyone gets along with each other. In the spiritual world, there's no problems like that. I was reading Krishna book. You know, every Wednesday we give the class to the Thai devotees. They translate to Thai. So I'm telling the stories from the Krishna book. So there's a story there how Brahma has stolen away the cows and the cowherd boys, and Krishna was left all alone. So Krishna took the place. Krishna expanded himself. He used his mystic power to expand himself, to take the place of all the calves and all the cowherd boys who Brahma had taken away. And after a moment of Brahma's time, Brahma went away for one moment of his time, but 1 moment of Brahma's time was 1 year on this planet, because the time is different. You see, Brahma lives in the top planet in the universe. Also, the top planet in the universe, time is different from this planet. And 1 moment of his time is 1 year on this planet. So he went away. Brahma was away for 1 moment only, and he came back, and it was 1 year here. And for 1 year, Krishna had taken the place of all the cows and all the cowherd boys. And nobody knew. Nobody knew, because Krishna is so clever. He could take the place of everyone, the cows and the cowherd boys. It was all Krishna, but nobody knew. But because it was Krishna, everybody loved the cows and the cowherd boys more than they loved before. Because the person who we really love is Krishna. We're thinking we love the body, but actually the person who we really love, the person is not the body. The person is the soul, and that soul is a part of Krishna. So then Krishna showed Brahma how actually he was taking the place of all. And Brahma was, wow, he was very confused. He was very surprised. And then Krishna used his power again. He made everything just back to Vrindavan. And there's a beautiful description about Vrindavan in Srimad Bhagavatam. It describes how usually, you know, there's fierce animals and there's gentle animals, and some animals like a tiger, they're very fierce and very frightening. But in Vrindavan, they're all friends. All the animals and all the birds and all the living entities, they're all friends with each other, because it's Vrindavan. So it's not different from the spiritual world. They all get along together with each other in the atmosphere of Vrindavan, the spiritual world. right? We want to create that kind of atmosphere. Krishna consciousness is meant for that we can feel the spiritual atmosphere. Common mood, everybody working together, everybody friends with each other, no bad feelings, perfect harmony, all centered around Krishna, to serve Krishna. That is the Vrindavan atmosphere, and that is the mood of the spiritual world. So we want to try to experience this spiritual atmosphere by chanting, hearing about Krishna. Krishna is in our heart. And when we chant, we can feel Krishna awaking. We feel it. So when we do kirtan, they always say, chant from the heart. Chant from the heart, and you can feel from the heart. You can feel the awakening. So now more and more people are taking their chanting very seriously. Many people told me they never did much chanting, but with the lockdown, now they do more chanting. They become much more serious in their chanting. And they appreciate the holy name. And now they have more time to hear also. You know, it's not easy to understand Krishna consciousness. When we're new, it takes a long time before we can understand what people are talking about. I know I didn't understand in the beginning. I don't know about all of you. I don't know how much you understand. But I know when I was a new devotee, I would hear, and I wouldn't know what they're talking about. But I was very attracted. Somehow, I love to listen to them. But after they talk, I don't know what they were talking about. I don't know what happened, where it went. I would hear, but what they were saying, I don't know. I couldn't remember. I couldn't put it together. In the beginning, it was like that. So gradually, it starts to make sense. Gradually, we start to understand. And Prabhupada said the same. He said, he used to go to hear his guru, and he said he couldn't understand what he was talking about. He didn't know what he was talking about. But gradually started to make sense, could understand. So I hope you can understand something what I'm saying to you tonight. All right, are there any questions from anybody?
Maharaj, I want to introduce the new one, Christine Lim from Malacca.
Oh.
Christine, open the camera and the mic. Christine. Hoi. Hey, Maharaj, hi. Christine Lim. Achuta's mother.
Oh, Achuta's mother, yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
I thought she's
Krishna
from
Maharaj.
Malacca, isn't it?
And the daughter,
Yeah,
Remember Malacca?
They're from Malacca, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Achuta is the son.
Yeah. She already took shelter, She wants to get initiation also.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
The husband also chanting.
Oh, wonderful.
And another one is Chu Chi Kong. is from KL.
Okay.
Hitachi engineer.
Huh?
Aircon engineer.
Aircon engineer.
Acho. Hi. Hi.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
And this Fu Wen Xiong is from JB.
Okay. Fu Wen Chong.
You know Achong, you know? Achong, you know, from Giri Gopal.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Your Holiness.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Dhanyavad pronounce. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
And the other one is Huawei. I don't know who is the one. Please open, introduce yourself. Huawei. And another one, Janaki. Please open your camera and the mic. Introduce
Janaki.
yourself.
Janaki.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Janaki.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
And another one is JRDD, David Dasi. I think Jaya Radhika, maybe. Open your mic.
Jai Radhika?
I don't know. JRDD.
Okay.
Open your camera and your mic.
They're all camera shy.
So total Maharaj about 25,
Oh, very
about
nice.
26 some are left.
Yeah, very good.
So this is our Friday class. Every Friday 8 o'clock. Rajananda will tell the pastime, and I also helping, to give class. So if Maharaj can every month give one class, then would be nice.
Yes, definitely.
Then you can see all your, Malaysian, Singaporean, JB, Malacca, all over the year.
Yeah, very good.
The last one is Apachai, remember? Skudai, Pachai, Hoi Lega camera, Pachai. Phong mà đề mai, Phong Maharaj, King Hakai.
Skudai.
Skudai, yeah. Remember?
Yeah. Okay.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Pachai, remember?
Hare Krishna
Skudai, you met
Prabhu.
him? Chinese man?
Yeah, right. Hare Krishna.
He also now, his brother also now slowly following him, Atim.
Really?
Just now, I don't know where he is now. So, our group are mostly new devotee Maharaj.
Yeah, I see.
So we take a lot of time to cultivate them.
Yeah. Many new, but also some been around a while. Hui's been around a long time, quite a while. Hui and Cindy been around a long time. Also, Mr. Lim, long time, very long time.
I think
Maharaj.
okay.
Maharaj,
Yes.
Hui and I are in the disciple course. Yeah.
Oh, very good. Yeah, do the disciple course. Yeah, very nice. Who's teaching? Who's the teacher?
Maharaj encouragement to start taking, get initiated. Maharaj, them quite long already. encourage them to take initiation.
Yeah, I've done. I did quite a few initiations in China. I did several initiations in Dongbei.
Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Oh, what happened? I lost you. No sound.
Yeah, unmute yourself, Trikam. I mute you. Unmute yourself.
You unmute me. Am I muted now?
No, you're okay. Trikam is muted.
Oh, Trivikram's muted.
I was like, Trikam, you got mute. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Unmute.
Okay.
Very noisy from your side.
Yeah, because they are talking here, lah. What to do? I downstairs. So, Maharaj, this, the new devotees, so because of the pandemic, we meet in the Zoom, so are more close, association.
Yeah, because I think so. It's very nice.
Because if you are in the KL, I got to meet in Charas, sometime in the temple. So I feel the pandemic is good to get us close together. So Maharaj can see so many people at one time.
Yeah, very
one
nice.
Way is benefit.
Ayo, is it? Ayo?
Afat Chai. Hey, hoi le ka mai Afat Chai.
Hi.
He also very long devotee Afat Chai.
Yeah.
His brother is Atim. The song came in, then he went.
Okay. Good.
Kaushika is here already, Maharaj. You can ask him to unmute. Kaushika is here.
Oh, Kaushika.
Yeah, Kaushika. Kaushika, hold your handsome face from Maharaj and the mic.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Okay now?
Yeah. He hasn't got his... Hare Krishna, Kaushika Prabhu.
Yeah, all glories to you.
All glories to you. I heard they had good program there in Johor.
Not really.
No?
Only in Zoom. Only in Zoom.
Zoom. No. I heard they had program.
They're closed.
They told me.
Kuda is closed. Chennai is closed also.
They had a program. He just told me that last week there they had a program.
Oh, Damodar program?
Yeah.
Is it Damodar program? Yeah.
Who was it told me? This Ram Tosi.
Oh, Ram Tosi. Oh. Yeah, probably they did in the house. Some devotees' house, I think.
Yeah, they did it in the house. Yeah, maybe in the house. Yeah. And then Sridham Ananda, is it?
Yeah, Sridham's place probably. I didn't join.
Because once in a while, Maharaj, then they gather because of the pandemic, then they have a restriction,
Yeah.
If your court got problem, then got to fine, so many problems.
Yeah.
1,000 ringgit.
No more than 10 people, right?
No, sometimes, you see, after the SOP, social order,
Yeah.
then they are allowed, certain people, then you have to take the temperature, record everything. So much problem. That's why many people are not coming, That's a problem. But anyway, Zoom is good. after the pandemic, I think for the gathering is good.
Yeah, very
so
nice.
you can accommodate so many people.
Have we
So
got
any
anybody?
question?
Did you get anybody from Sarawak?
Yeah.
Cochin?
Sarawak also. Oh, Sarawak. You're talking about what, Maharaj?
Well, like Cochin, you know, the Cochin, we had a few Chinese people there also.
Oh, I don't know. Kuching, I don't know.
We should check it out. You should.
I don't know Kuching.
We should talk to Kripa Sindhu.
Yeah. Any question? Any 1 year? Please ask Maharaj. Mary?
I have a question, Maharaj.
Yes?
I have a question, Maharaj.
Okay.
Maharaj, I want to ask, in a Krishna book, Pastime, Krishna is born in a jail and then be transferred to exchange with Yasoda Maya with the daughter.
Yeah.
So how come Balaram has to be transferred in such a way that from the womb of Devaki to Rohini Maya? How come in this case Balaram is not being born in the jail to transfer that way, like Krishna?
Well, the point was, you know, Balaram, he comes first to make arrangements in the womb. He has to make it all nice for Krishna to come there. Because after the 6 demons, after those 6 children were born, they were all killed by Kamsa. So then Balaram comes, he's the 7th child. So he comes to clean everything up and to make it all nice and put a bed there for Krishna, because he knows Krishna's going to come as the 8th child. So Balaram comes there and makes everything nice and everything. But then, you know, Balaram, the arrangement is that Balaram will transfer to the womb of Rohini, because then Balaram can take birth in the home of Nanda Maharaj, and then he can be with Krishna. You see, so it was like that, so that Krishna and Balaram can be together. So Balaram gets transferred into because Rohini is also Vasudev's wife, but Rohini has been sent to Nanda Maharaj's home for her safety. So Balaram was put into the womb. From the womb of Devaki, he went into the womb of Rohini. And he was delivered from the womb of Rohini. And then, you know, him and Krishna can grow up together. And they can have their pastimes together.
The pastime together.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Maharaj.
Krishna Maharaj.
Yes?
Please accept my humble obeisances. Just want to refer to this COVID condition now. Is it a symptom of Kali Yuga in such a way that, you know, this symptom could create religious downfall, or does it uplift the religious aspect?
Yes, you can see it definitely is having an uplifting effect. It's up to everyone how we use it. You see, we can use it to downfall, but we can use it to be uplifted also. Everything can be used in different ways. It depends on the individual. We're given that free will. Now for the devotee, we're using it to be uplifted. We're doing more chanting and having nice association, more association. Before, you know, we all go to temple, but now we've made temple. Everybody's got temple in their home, and they do everything at home. And we're doing everything at home. But usually we'd go to temple and do everything. But with the COVID, the home has become the temple. So you can see uplifting, and you can see also that for the non-devotees, they use it. They get very depressed, and they don't know what to do, and they become confused. They cannot have their sense gratification. So it's very depressing for them. But for devotees, it's not a problem. It's nice.
So basically now the Krishna conscious, actually one should see that Krishna conscious is really very, very viable and important, as initially we have it when the COVID is not there, we don't see that much of that important probably.
Yes. You can see also, like in India, the Yamuna River was very polluted. But now, since the COVID, it's become very nice. The water has become so much purified. Because a lot of the industry, they're not putting all the waste that they were putting into the rivers. So it's become very nice, The river Yamuna cleaned up a lot. So that's a good thing. And you can see also, and the environment is getting a better opportunity. You see, the environment, this COVID has really helped a lot on the environment. It stopped a lot, all the pollution that we were having and all the waste and everything. So it's all reduced a lot. So this is, nature's way of correcting things, making the planet a bit more better, improving the hygiene, improving the ecosystem, improving the environment, because we were ruining it. We were all ruining it with all of our cars and aeroplanes and everything that was going on, burning all the fuel. So, it's made a big difference to the planet. So nature has a way of correcting things when things are going wrong. Nature corrects us, and people now, they're more interested, a lot more people are thinking seriously about vegetarianism, and they're much more conscious now about health. It's a big issue now. People really think a lot now about their health.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj, my humble obeisances to you. I have a question for you, sir.
Yes.
My question is, in Bhagavad Gita 18.73, Arjuna said that my illusions are all gone. Maharaj, when did you realize your illusions were all gone?
What makes you think my illusions have all gone? I never said my illusions have all gone. Arjuna said...
Please share your view on this.
Sorry?
Please share your view on this, illusions,
well,
when Arjuna understands that his illusions are all gone.
All right, so what was Arjuna's illusion? Arjuna's illusion was that he didn't want to fight, and he was in illusion thinking that it was good for him, that it was moral for him, that he was doing the right thing by avoiding performing his duty, by staying out of the battle. He thought this was going to be a credit to him, but this was all illusion. And Krishna instructed him that it was definitely wrong for him to give up his duty, the prescribed duty which he was meant to do. Arjuna was in illusion. He was identifying with the material body, thinking that he was the doer, that he's the body, and he was thinking the people he's fighting, they're the body also. But Krishna explained to him, actually, none of us, we're not the body, we're all souls. And Krishna explained that the soul never dies. Arjuna was worried that it's going to kill people, but Krishna explained in the Bhagavad Gita that you don't, the soul never dies, and you can't kill the soul. You can kill the body. And the body's going to die one day anyway, whether Arjuna kills them or not. We're all going to die one day. So this was all different illusions which Arjuna was in. Arjuna was also in illusion a little bit about Krishna. He was thinking Krishna was his friend. But after hearing Krishna speak the Bhagavad Gita, then he could understand Krishna's position. And he understood Krishna as the supreme, as Bhagavan, the source of all power and opulence and knowledge. And so Arjuna recognized Krishna's position as far above his own. And that's why Arjuna surrendered to Krishna. So that was illusion, that Krishna was thinking, Arjuna was thinking Krishna's my friend. And we're the same age and we're equals. But after he heard the Bhagavad Gita, then Arjuna could actually understand Krishna's superior position. So that illusion was gone. He could see the factual position of Lord Krishna as the Supreme Lord, as the source of everything. And Arjuna surrendered to Krishna. So that's,
Maharaj?
Yes?
So that's the illusion that we are all trying to let go.
Yes, the illusion is that we're thinking I'm the controller, that I'm the doer. You know, we're thinking like that. We're thinking ourselves to be independent of Krishna, but actually we're not. We're not independent.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Our independence is to choose between Krishna and Maya. Maya means the illusion, right? Illusion means we're accepting something to be real when it's not real.
Wouldn't that be Yoga Maya, sir?
Yoga Maya.
Don't we want to go for Yoga Maya?
No, there's two kinds of Maya. There's Yoga Maya and Mahamaya, right?
Yeah.
So Mahamaya is taking something to be real when it's not real. And Yoga Maya is sometimes it appears real, and sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it appears, sometimes it's not. Just like Krishna. Krishna uses the Yoga Maya sometimes to reveal himself and sometimes to cover him up. And sometimes Krishna will reveal himself as the child of Mother Yashoda, and sometimes he will reveal himself as God. Just like when Mother Yashoda looked in Krishna's mouth, when Mother Yashoda looked in the mouth of Krishna, you know, because she heard that Krishna had been eating dirt, so she said to Krishna, open your mouth and let me see if there's dirt. And when Krishna opened his mouth, then Mother Yashoda saw all the universe and everything that's in the universe. She saw it all within the mouth of Krishna. So that was Krishna revealing something. This is Yoga Maya. You see, Krishna was revealing something. But, you know, he just revealed it for a little while and then he covered it up again. And then he brought it back to the Leela again, that Mother Yashoda was looking into the mouth and seeing some dirt is there in the mouth of Krishna. So sometimes it's present, sometimes it's not. So Krishna would do these kind of things. Sometimes he would reveal himself as God, and sometimes he wouldn't. This is Yoga Maya.
Thank you.
Now Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, he says, you'll find there's a verse, Krishna says, I am never manifest to the foolish and the unintelligent. For them I am covered by my eternal potency, Yoga Maya. But that Yoga Maya, which covers up Krishna, that is actually Mahamaya. because Mahamaya is a section, it's coming from the Yoga Maya. Just like we give the example about electricity. Electricity can be used to heat, and it can also be used to cool. It can be used to do different things. So in the same way, Krishna's energy, Yoga Maya, can be used in different ways. It can be used to cover up Krishna, and it can be used to cover up the material world, the material energy. It can be Yoga Maya can also become Mahamaya, because it's a part of Yoga Maya.
Much like Zoom, sir.
Huh?
Much like Zoom. Much like the Zoom meeting. Now you see us, now you don't.
Yeah, okay, like Zoom. So Krishna has these potencies. He has inconceivable potencies. You have to understand this. This is a very important point, that there is such a thing as inconceivable potencies. We're so used to thinking that we should be able to conceive of everything. We should know exactly what it is and how powerful it is. But Krishna's potencies are beyond all that.
Maharaj, I got one more question to ask you. Haridas Thakur did 333,000 chanting of Maha Mantra a day, which is 192 japas. Do you think anybody in Kali Yoga will be able to do that?
I think it's very unlikely.
Me too. Thank you again.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for your questions.
To answer Maharaj for the 192 rounds?
Yeah, I said I think it's very unlikely somebody could do that, you know. I think it's really, really, really difficult to get people.
Thank you.
If somebody tells me they chanted 192 rounds, I'm really... I'm suspicious.
Credible.
Okay.
Another question coming, Maharaj, for Mr. Cheong.
Yes?
Raj, okay, again, just now you were referring the Mother Yasoda was looking at the some kind of universal manifestation, and I think there is a manifestation for Arjuna. So what is the such manifestation of universal form link about? Is there any difference or any what you call pastime teaching about this? The difference of the universal form by Arjuna and Mother Yasoda.
Oh, well, Arjuna seeing the universal form, Krishna was showing actually what the form which Krishna showed to Arjuna was called Kala Rup, or the form of time. And Arjuna was able to see how all the people, all the, Bhishma and Drona and all of the sons of Dhritarashtra, how they were all being killed. They were all entering into the mouths. They're entering into the mouths of the universal form, showing that they were all being destroyed. So Krishna showed that universal form to Arjuna to convince Arjuna, to show him that these people are all going to die. Whether Arjuna fights or not, they're all going to die. So Krishna showed that to Arjuna just to encourage him, that he should take part. He should go ahead and take part in the battle. That actually these people are going to die. whether Arjuna fights or not. So this was, and Prabhupada also explains why Krishna showed that universal form, that he wants to show people that if somebody is also claiming to be God, they should also show the universal form. You know, if somebody says, I'm God also, then they say, okay, then show me the universal form, just like Krishna showed to Arjuna. So,
Maharaj, there is one, although but it mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, I think some part it was saying that Arjuna also did see something. He says in the Bhagavad Gita is something like he become joyful again, hearing the world become joyful upon hearing the name. So did he see anything that joyful in that manifestation?
Did he see anything joyful in the manifestation? Well, no, we don't. He didn't find anything joyful. Rather, it was quite frightening for him to see that manifestation. It wasn't pleasant. It wasn't something he liked. And that's why he asked Krishna to show him another form. He said, I want to see your other form. He said, I don't like this form. But it does mention that the world becomes joyful upon hearing the holy name. And so the name of the Lord is very powerful, that everyone becomes joyful hearing the holy name.
Thank you, Maharaj.
But that form, that universal form, that's a material form. It's not an eternal spiritual form. It's a material manifestation. The different elements of the material world all put together. But it's a godless display of opulence. But it's shown because, Krishna wants to establish his position. He had already established himself philosophically. Philosophically, he'd already shown himself to be God. And Arjuna had accepted it also, because Arjuna had said, you're the supreme Brahman, you're the supreme abode, I accept it. But then Krishna wanted to prove it also, not just philosophically, but practically. And so he showed that form. Krishna just speaking, he said, like in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests on me, just as pearls are strung on a thread. And so, this was Krishna speaking as the Supreme Lord. So he'd established himself theoretically, but he has to, Arjuna wants him to do it also practically. So therefore Krishna showed the universal form. And that's a practical demonstration of his position as God.
Maharaj, he is very joyful to hear from you.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, regarding the Mahamaya and Yogamaya, can it be said that Mahamaya is influencing us because we put ourselves in the center, and Yogamaya is if we put Krishna in the center?
Yeah, okay. That sounds reasonable. Yeah, Mahamaya is putting ourselves in the center. We want to be the center, but Yogamaya, Krishna's in the center.
Okay. Thank you, Maharaj.
Generally,
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Yes?
I've got a question. In the 60s we talk about the hippies, right? And in the 2000 we talk about the millennium. So the youngsters of the 60s and the millennium, the millennium, they're more into expected mentality of what is there in for me, whereas I'm not too sure on the 60s, whereas experimental and openness to receive new ideas. So it's a different challenges. So for the millennium, how do you think the approach of Krishna consciousness will be moving towards?
For the millenniums, well, the millenniums, they're looking for new ideas. We say there are a lot of new ideas in Krishna consciousness. There's so many new ideas there, actually. The new ideas are actually coming from the ancient past. They have the best ideas. The things which have all been forgotten about over centuries are the things which are actually the new ideas which we need to introduce.
We surface again.
It's not that we need something new, but we need to look in the past and learn from the past, and then use the things from way back in the past, put them into practice in the modern times. That's the new ideas, to make use of the ancient civilizations, because they had perfect knowledge. They had everything much better than we have it. They had the best social system. Everyone was cared for. Everyone was provided for. There was no scarcity. There was even, if a mother was to give birth and there would be a miscarriage, they could go to the king and complain. It was the fault of the king. So things like this, you see, everyone was protected. Even the dog, if the dog was ill-treated, he could go to the king and complain, and the king would punish the person who had ill-treated the dog. So there's so many wonderful things in the past, in the ancient civilizations, the ancient systems.
Maharaj, there is also a lot of deceptive knowledge on the rise also. It could be a lot of demonic standing on that kind of knowledge. There is a lot, because once people are serving over this kind of looking for knowledge, they will come across a lot of this kind of deception also.
Yes, a lot of deceptions, a lot of cheating. It's all going on in the name of progress. Everybody's trying to put their own ideas, they have imperfect knowledge, imperfect senses, and they try to cheat everybody. Though we have to hear from the perfect source. You get perfect knowledge from the perfect person. Who is the perfect person? The perfect person is Krishna, the one he knows everything. We want to know about this world, we have to hear from Krishna. He tells us how we should live in this world. We have to take care of the cows, and we have to take care of the land. Use the land to grow grains. We need to grow food for the people, nice food for the people. We don't need all of these things which we're doing with the land today. What are we doing, We're trying to take the petrol out from the earth all the time. But they're doing so many things to the land. In America, they've ruined all the land, trying to take the oil out from the land. So we need
Maharaj, not everyone in the world can be able to come to this knowledge, Krishna knowledge. So, for whatever it is it only by His causeless mercy, so-called causeless mercy, that one can be able to come to Krishna consciousness?
Well, there's the mercy of the devotee. You know, the mercy of devotee like Prabhupada, who went to the West and who wrote the books in English. You know, he did a lot of work to give this knowledge to others. So we get, you know, that when we contact the mercy of a devotee like Prabhupada, that's our good fortune. And that creates our auspiciousness. Right? Causeless.
Maharaj, you also mentioned, Maharaj, you also mentioned that because the devotees are intelligent enough to come into Krishna consciousness and the blessings as well.
Well, why do we come to Krishna consciousness? In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes 4 reasons why we would usually come, right? Do you remember that? In the Bhagavad Gita, 4 reasons. One is we come in distress. Another reason is we come in search of some kind of wealth, and we may come out of curiosity, or we may come in search of knowledge. So these 4 reasons are given in the Bhagavad Gita, and it doesn't matter why we come. But of the 4 reasons why people come to Krishna consciousness, the best one is the one who's in knowledge. And other people, you know, they may come for different reasons in the beginning, but they have to come to that platform where they're more interested in the knowledge. And but then they will remain in Krishna consciousness. Now someone may be in distress and they may come to Krishna, but after some time then they forget this distress and then they go back again into material life. Or somebody may be curious and after some time they're not curious anymore, they go away. But if they have the knowledge, if they get the knowledge, then they'll never give up, they'll never go away. Because they can always get more and more knowledge. So it's important.
Maharaj, would you say that knowledge is the seeking for the truth?
Oh yes, right. Seeking the truth, we want to understand the truth, the absolute truth. Right? There's relative truth and absolute truth. Krishna consciousness is actually the study of the absolute truth. The concept of God is not as high as the concept of absolute truth. Because there can be many gods, you know, your God, Hindu God, Muslim God, Christian God, which God, you know. So therefore we speak about the absolute truth. We're not just simply, you know, some Hindu cult or something, you know, we're studying the absolute truth.
Maharaj, therefore one needs intelligence to understand the absolute truth, isn't it? Because it's a relative of knowledge and truth.
Yeah, but we get intelligence from Krishna. The intelligence The intelligence comes from Krishna. Krishna says, to those who are constantly devoted to me and worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they may come to me. So you see, the intelligence faculty is situated next to the soul, right? Higher than the senses is the mind. Higher than the mind is intelligence, and the intelligence is seated next to the soul. So we get the intelligence from the spiritual, from the soul, the super soul. Lord Krishna is in the heart of all of us, and He directs us when He sees our sincere desire to want to know the truth. Then He helps us. He shows us where to go, what to do.
Then where is the false ego then? If intelligence is seated next to the Atma?
Where is the false ego? Well,
yes, sir.
The false ego is there in the mind. It's a mental faculty there. We're thinking, false ego is thinking, I'm the doer, I'm the body, this is me, you know. But the true ego, what is true ego is to understand I'm not the body, I'm the soul, I'm the servant of the Supreme. So the false ego is that conception which is there in the mind.
So when the body dies, is the mind impressions that baby carry on to the next birth if we're not lucky?
Yes, that's right. What happens at the time of death, the soul leaves the body and the subtle body also goes with the soul. The subtle body means the mind. It goes with the soul and it takes our impressions to the next life. Right. So that's why we have to think of Krishna at the time of death. When we're leaving the body, we want to be able to think of Krishna at the end of life. Then we can go to be with Krishna.
Maharaj, you were talking about the knowledge. If we come, we need knowledge. We have to come to the knowledge. Yeah, although this is my experience, but what I'm reading from Bhagavad Gita myself, so I did understand certain extent. But let's say Prabhu Vraja, he was giving a discourse, and sometimes when I hear from him, it's more heartfelt than what I read myself. So there's a searching of knowledge. I think by ourselves is still incomplete.
Well,
is that so?
Our searching for knowledge is not, it's complete. You just have to know where to take it from. It's all there. We just have to hear from the right source. Generally, we have to hear. We have to also inquire. That's the process. Try to understand the truth by approaching the teacher and inquire from him. So this is the process of getting the knowledge, that you have to inquire about it. It's not that everything is just immediately given to you, but you have to inquire about it, and gradually it's revealed more and more. That's described in the Bhagavad Gita in the 4th chapter, verse number 34, a very famous verse. It says, just try to learn the truth by approaching the teacher. The teacher who has seen the truth, he can reveal the truth to you. And the process of approaching the teacher is by inquiring from him. So questions? Yeah?
Thank you.
You can see in the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna putting questions to Krishna. Arjuna was confused. So he asked Krishna, he said, I am your disciple and a soul surrendered. Please instruct me. And similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam, Maharaj Parikshit is putting questions to Sukadeva Goswami. Maharaj Parikshit is going to die and he's asking Sukadeva Goswami, what should I do? How should I prepare for death? So very good that you're all inquiring. Very nice questions. It's very nice. This is a proper way to progress in spiritual life. You put questions.
So any more question, everybody? Because it's going to be...
Another question from Alex. Go ahead, Alex.
Alex, yeah.
Hey, unmute yourself. Okay.
Who are they, the Aryan?
Maharaj. I think Maharaj isn't here.
Who are they, the Aryan?
Who are the Aryans?
Who are they?
Oh, the Aryans, they're there was an Aryan civilization. Aryan means that people who are very cultured and civilized. And what happens was, they were living originally in India, and some of them moved to the West. They went into Europe and like that. So there was something called the Aryan invasion. And so what happened, they came out of India, they moved into Europe. And they brought some of the knowledge, some of the wisdom with them into Europe.
Oh, that means they bring the Krishna consciousness to other parts of the world.
Well, they brought not so much Krishna consciousness, but they brought the Vedic culture. The Vedic culture. Something of the Vedas, the Vedic culture.
Did they all Indian?
Yeah, they came out of India. They came from India, North India, long time ago.
But they are Indian.
Yes. But India wasn't called India then. At that time they weren't called. There was no India. There was all of these names, all these places. This is all created by people now.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Maharaj, I got a question to ask you.
Yeah.
Do you think Srila Prabhupada would do you talk to him?
Who?
Rather than just from his books. Srila Prabhupada. In the moments of silence, do you talk to him?
Do I talk to him?
Yes.
Yes, sometimes I may talk to him, yes. Certainly I pray
and what would he say to you? And what would he say to you?
What would he say to me? Well, he would say things like, cooperate, work together, keep the movement together, keep devotees united. He would encourage me and try to expand the Krishna consciousness movement. Think about, opening up new places, go to some new fields sometimes. And do whatever you can to help others.
Thank you.
Prabhupada liked to see the devotees happy in Krishna consciousness. He wanted to see devotees taken care of. And he wanted to see the deities also nicely taken care of. The temples should look nice and should be well organized. They should have nice programs. All of these things were important to Prabhupada.
There was an article that was written whereby he was very angry one time when the food that was served, the prasad that was served, and the dogs weren't even eating it. So he was very upset with the devotees. So, that was a very interesting story, that the standard that he sets for everybody.
I've never heard of this story before. Where did you get this story from?
Let me. It was told. It was sometime whereby the prasad that was being served, and the dogs, like in Mayapur, they were hungry and they weren't eating it. Srila Prabhupada got really upset and started scolding his disciples.
This is not right. This is really, I don't know where you get these stories from. What I do know is what happened was after the devotees took prasadam, they would take their leftovers, they would throw it out. They throw it outside the garbage like that. There was some kind of pile where they had, leftover banana leaf plates and so on, And so Prabhupada saw that there were some children who were coming and they were, looking, and they were even maybe taking some of the food. So at that time, Srila Prabhupada said that nobody should go hungry within 10 kilometers of the temple. So he began a program that all the local people, they could come and have prasadam there, free. And they could come and take the prasadam, the devotees cook, and they would come and they would have the program, like I think once a week they would come, and they would have the program, people could come and they would serve prasadam free to all the, because he said nobody should go hungry within 10 kilometers of the temple. And even to today, during the lockdown period, devotees have been going regularly, every day. They've been going into different villages and distributing food to the people. But, of course, Prabhupada wanted that the prasadam, it should be good, but I never heard anywhere that the food was so bad that even the dogs wouldn't eat it. I don't know where this story came from.
Maharaj, this one is from the farm project in India, the first farm project under this Maharaj Hari Sauri at time.
Hari
because
Sauri?
he has given this course, this discourse that time he mentioned this.
Really? He said like that? I'll have to ask him about it. I don't know, I never heard this before. I will ask him. He's here in Mayapur, so when I see him next time, I'll question him on this. But certainly the food should be good. I know sometimes Prabhupada would say that, he would try the cooking and say, oh no, this cooking is not good. He would say it wasn't good. Who cooked? And he would complain, and he'd train the cooks. He would personally go and train the cooks how to cook. So Prabhupada was very concerned about the quality of the cooking. That the food should be tasty, everything should be well prepared, should be nice, should be satisfying. Actually, Krishna consciousness is sometimes called the kitchen religion, because we spend so much time cooking, and distributing prasadam is a very big activity. It's something which we do a lot. We distribute food, and generally we're known to have very nice food, and people like our cooking a lot, and people come because they want the prasadam. And that's true, especially you go in countries like Australia, they have a very big name. People everywhere know how the devotees cook very nicely. And I know also in England, also people come to the temple, they want prasadam, they know we have very nice food. So to hear that the dogs wouldn't even take it, I don't know. I mean, it's very unusual. Usually dogs in India, they'll eat anything.
Any more questions? Because it's going to be 10 o'clock. I think Maharaj.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
On behalf of all these devotees, I'd like to express my gratitude and thankful for your class. And also, I hope every month we can have one,
Oh yeah.
class. Maharaj.
Anytime you just remind me, Prabhu, I'll be happy to come. Anytime on Fridays, I'm coming. Anytime you want me, you can just...
Yeah, thank you so much, Dandawa, and Pranam to you. You take a good rest. India should be now 11 or 12 o'clock, I don't know.
No, here it's only 7:30. 7:30.
Oh, 7, oh, sorry, the other way. I thought it's...
Yeah, 7:30.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. One hand.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.